good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Morosco of Spirit Practice, and we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So I am sitting cross-legged. You don't need to. You can have your legs stretched out. You can sit with, like kneel with your knees symmetric. So, but the one thing is, I'm going to ask you to have your spine nice and long so that you can breathe fully. So if you find yourself kind of slumped over, stick a blanket under your sit bone, the back of the pelvis. And then as you settle in, I'm going to invite you to just take 3 long, smooth breaths. Of course, you'll continue to breathe throughout the practice, but here I want you to just focus on your breath coming in, moving through your body, and noticing how your body feels. And as you settle into your seat, inviting your mind to settle as well. And as you notice how you're feeling, thinking about how you want to feel when we're done with practice. Maybe you know what you're going to do in your day, and so thinking about how you want to be as you leave the room today. And so setting your intention. And then when you're ready, we're going to place the hands on the legs or on the floor, and I want you to make some little circles with your body. Some of you know I like to do this a lot because it gives us information about what's happening in the low back and the pelvis. We'll pause and turn in the other direction. So gathering information, and then again, we're going to pause in the center. And let's inhale those arms up and notice like how it feels in the shoulders. As you exhale, you're going to take one arm forward, one arm back, gentle little twist through the upper body. Inhale back to the center, and then exhale second side. And just continue at the pace of your breath, inhaling center and up, exhaling, gentle twist to the side. And if it doesn't work, lift your arms overhead. You can breathe at the center and just move your hands on the floor, right? Always finding a way that works for you. So one more time on each side. And then when you come back to the center, you're going to stretch out those legs. And I just want you to point and flex your feet. So you're kind of noticing how those ankles are doing. And then your feet about as wide as your hips. And then we're going to twist the whole leg, open the feet, and bring them in a little bit, right? So you're not twisting, you're moving the whole foot, lower leg, and upper leg as one, right? And you're just kind of noticing how it feels in the hips as you're doing that. All right. Now we're going to find our tennis balls. I don't know how this one got way over here. And bend your knees, and you're going to take those tennis balls so your butt stays on the ground, right? You're not lifting it up. And you're going to press the tennis balls in. And then you'll straighten your legs a little bit, and we're going to take the knees side to side. So we're trying to loosen up those connectors into the back of the thighs. So let your legs be a little bit heavy on the tennis balls, and then just gently move side to side. Then we're going to bend the knees again, take those tennis balls out a little bit, so, a couple of inches, straighten the legs a little bit, do that same thing. And no matter what we're doing, you're going to keep breathing, right? And if anything hurts, please don't do it. There's always a modification in yoga. All right. Now for this next one, we're going to bend the knees, and your ankles and knees touching one another, and you're going to lift your hips just slightly on either side and place the tennis balls there. So you're not sitting on the tennis balls, right? They're in your glute. And then you're going to open and close the knees. So inhale, open, exhale, bring them together. And you can use your hands on the floor for balance, or you could, you know, inhale your arms up or relax the arms. You're kind of choosing what feels good for you. One more breath. And when those knees come together, we are going to take those tennis balls and place them. So you're going to lean slightly forward. Again, your butt's still on the ground, and you're going to place the tennis balls at the low back. And then settle into them just a little bit. I'm warm already. Must be warm. Okay. And then as you settle into those tennis balls, so notice, how's it feeling in the back of the pelvis, the low back? And then you might start to move again, your knees side to side, or even a little bit front to back. Still breathing. Noticing how it feels. And if you're at home, you know, or sometime doing this on your own, you might spend a little bit more time with what we're doing to help loosen up a little bit. Now we're gonna come up onto our hands and knees. And if your knees are sensitive, you might put a blanket underneath. Can you be on your knees?
Oh yeah, I think so.
All right, so, and this is a hard floor, so having a little padding underneath can feel very nice. Now we're gonna have the knees about hip width apart and slightly behind the hips. Hands about shoulder distance, and again, just slightly in front of the shoulders, and maybe slightly a little bit wider. And I want you to engage your core. So it doesn't mean you're sucking in your belly, right? But you're aware that you're using those core muscles. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna come slightly forward, inhale forward, exhale back. And we're starting off with little movements, so don't go as deeply as you can at first. You're just gonna inhale forward, exhale, come back, and you might start to deepen either way, coming forward or coming back. As you're moving, the inhale is forward, exhale is back. And again, as you're moving, you're noticing how your body feels, and if you want to deepen or not, and you might start to, you know, come down into a full child's pose or a full modified cobra, but you're going to decide what's appropriate for you as you move. So this starts to loosen everything up as long as we're doing it in a way that works for us. So next time we come down towards child's pose, you're going to stay there for a moment. And again, noticing how it feels. And if it doesn't feel good with the arms stretched out, just wrap them around your leg. You might have a block under your head. And again, looking for information from your body and your mind. And then in your own time, you're going to make your way up onto the hands and knees again. And we're going to step the right arm forward a little bit and slide the left arm underneath so that your shoulder and ear may come towards the ground. And then you use this right hand, come up onto your fingertips, bend the elbow, and you might start to walk it over your head. We're looking to open up the shoulder a little bit. So again, working in a way that feels good, and keep breathing. And maybe one more breath or so. And then we'll unwind, come back to the center, and then walk that left hand forward, slide the right arm underneath. And you can always put a blanket or a block under your head if they don't come to the ground. And then bending that left elbow and walking the hands overhead, opening up that shoulder. Continuing to breathe. Again, we're going to make our way back to the center. breath one more time. And let's take the right leg behind us, and we're gonna flex that foot. And then you're gonna bend the knee and press the bottom of the foot up towards the sky. Pressing, pressing. You might feel this in your glutes a little bit. We're gonna take that knee down to the ground and then extend the left leg. And again, flex the foot, find your balance. And then in your time, bend the knee, bottom of the foot up towards the sky and press. Keep breathing. And make sure, sometimes when we start to do something like with our legs, we let go of those core muscles. So just make sure you're including them. We're gonna bring that knee down to the ground. Walk your hands slightly forward in front of your shoulders. Take your knees slightly back and turn those toes under. And we're going to slide back into some form of down dog, right? And so you might keep your knees bent. You might straighten them. You might pedal through your feet. You want to make sure that you're using all of the hands, so your fingers and the pads around the palm, so that the weight's not all on your wrists. From here, we're going to do the same thing that we were doing in our tabletop. We're going to inhale forward into a plank or an up dog, and exhale back into our down dog. So inhale, and if you don't like this, come back to your knees and do your tabletop into child's pose. Just moving with your breath. So next time we're in down dog, find where your balance is in your weight. We're going to step that right foot forward. You might have to give it a little hand up. And some of you might like to have blocks under your hands, right? So it's all about, what works for your body. So here we are, we're in our lunge. That front knee's over the ankle. Your feet are hip width apart. We're going to bend and straighten that front leg. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that front foot stays on the ground. Again, you're working with your breath, inhaling and exhaling as you move. Now, next time your leg is straight, I want you to make sure that you're comfortable here and that the weight's in your feet, not in your hands, like the hands are just there for balance. We're going to lift the toes. So you're going to come up onto your heel and then take your toes to the ground. And it might be a little tiny movement or not at all. You're just keeping your legs straight and you're pointing and flexing that front foot. Now when you're done with that, when the foot comes back to the ground, we're going to bend that knee and we're going to step that back foot forward. And here we are in our forward bend. We're going to take our hands onto our legs, inhale halfway up, and exhale a little bit more deeply in towards your legs. Inhale halfway up, and you're just sliding your hands on the lower leg so you keep that connection to your body. Helps us to stay focused on ourselves. And next time you're more deeply in towards your legs, we're going to take the weight into the left foot and step back with the right foot into our lunge. And make sure you're set up in a way that's safe for you, knee over the ankle, feet hip width apart. Keep breathing, and then as you're ready, bending and straightening that front leg. And remember that if you're using blocks, they have different heights, so finding that height that feels comfortable for you so that you can flow freely with your breath in your body. One more time. And again, we're going to keep the legs straight to the best of our ability, and it's okay to have a little bend, especially if you hyperextend. And then we're going to start to lift your left toes. So you're going to lift the toes up, come onto your heel, take the toes down, And some of us are sensitive in certain parts of our feet, so just paying attention to what feels okay. So just moving through the foot. Nice. So next time the foot comes down, we're going to bend the knee, and again, step forward with that back foot. And this time we're going to take the hands onto our legs, inhale all the way up, and exhale all the way down. Again, moving with your breath, keeping your hands on your legs, as long as that works for you. And next time you come all the way up, let's find one of those tennis balls. And we're going to roll through the bottom of the foot. You decide, how much pressure you put on that tennis ball. And try to reach all the parts of the foot. So heel, arches, padded part under the toes. How's everybody doing? Okay, so far. All right. So every time I start to do this, I'm like, I don't really want to stop. All right, we're going to switch feet. Again, just exploring, noticing it might be similar or very different foot to foot. All right. Now, from here, once we feel complete with that, we'll put that tennis ball off to a safe place. And we're going to step our feet maybe as wide as our mat. And the feet are parallel. We're going to take the hands on the outside of the legs. And you're going to try to keep your shoulders over your hips, right? So you don't want to drop forwards or backwards. We're going to inhale up and exhale, slide down. And again, just moving with your breath, inhaling center, exhaling, sliding down the leg. And then you may start to slide that outside elbow up a little bit. Again, only adding on if it feels good. And now, if it feels good, you're going to take that arm and actually reach it up overhead in line with your ear. And remember, it's all about the function, not about the form, right? So we want to notice how we feel, and so like if your legs aren't perfectly straight, or it's what works in your body. One more time on each side. When you come back up, we're going to take our feet about hip width apart. And let's bring those hands to the heart center so your thumbs are resting on your sternum, heels of the hands and tips of the fingers touching. I want you to, a lot of times when we're standing up, we don't close our eyes, but I'm going to invite you to do that and make sure, of course, that you're safe. And then I want you to feel your feet on the ground and just gently move from heel to toe. Right, so your feet are staying connected to the floor, but like when you come back onto the heels, your toes may lift up. When you come onto the toes, the heels may come up. So you're just kind of rocking back and forth, making sure you're not getting dizzy and that you feel safe. All right, and then you're going to find that center place in your feet and open up your eyes. And then continuing, we're going to press into the center with our hands and take the weight into the left foot. And I want you to bring up the right knee and flex the foot. Find your balance. And then we're going to see if that leg wants to straighten. And of course, you can always come to the bar or the wall in the back if you're at home, a chair or something like that. One more time. Take that foot to the ground. Shift your weight into the right, make sure you're still breathing fully. And then bring up that left knee, the foot is flexed, find your focus, and then possibly start to bend and straighten that leg. And we'll release the hands down to the sides. And just connect with that breath. When you're ready, we're going to inhale those arms up overhead. If it feels safe, come up onto your toes and exhale. Just moving with your breath. Inhale is up, exhale is down. One more time. And we're going to pause for a moment, and then we're going to add a little chair to that as well, but we're going to keep our feet flat. So we'll inhale up and exhale into a little chair. And we're going to possibly deepen as we progress in doing this, or you might stay at the same place. Now, one more time. And then if you have a block, I want you to grab that block. We're going to place it between our knees, and you're going to press into the center. And if it doesn't work on the knees, you can have it between the thighs, right? But the idea is to have that sensation connecting with those inner thighs. Can you feel them? We don't necessarily give them a lot of attention. All right, now we're going to do that same thing, but inhaling up, exhaling into a little chair. And just notice, like, how does it feel hanging on to that block as you're moving? It gives us a little more control. Now, next time you come into your chair, we're going to bring those hands to the heart center and find your balance. So you're in a comfortable chair, right? Don't be so low that you can't move. And then we're going to shift our weight onto the toes and lift your heels up. So into a balanced chair, pressing into the center with your thighs, continue to breathe. And when you're complete on an exhale, you'll take the heels down, hands onto your thighs, and come right into your forward bend. Inhaling halfway up and exhaling a little bit more. Moving your breath as you move your body. Now, next time we're in our deeper forward bend, you might grab onto another block. We're going to take the hands over to the right and reach the hips over to the left. And you're still squeezing that block unless it's uncomfortable. One more breath, and then we're going to move through the center and then to the second side. So again, hands to the left, hips to the right, still squeezing in towards the center with our thighs. And again, back to the center. We're going to keep that block, and we're going to take our hands on the outsides of the block. And then on an inhale, and I like a slight bend in the knees here. On an inhale, we're going to bring that block in line with our head and our body. Keep breathing, and on the next inhale, we're going to come all the way up, and then relax the arms down. So I know sometimes people like to sweat and stuff, but one of the things that I think is really important is that you maintain equilibrium throughout the practice in your body, right? So if you need to pause, like, do that at any time. All right, so now we're going to hold on to the block. Inhale, arms overhead, heels lift up. Exhale, you're going to take that block behind your head, keep your elbows towards your head. Inhale up, and exhale back down. Okay, at your own pace. Inhale, arms up, heels up. Exhale, block back. Inhale, block up. Exhale, heels down, arms down. And you just keep moving at your pace. If it doesn't work, to come up onto the toes, keep your feet flat. One more time. All right, now we're going to put that block down. And we're going to try to hold on to our block. We're going to try something and see how it works. So you're going to inhale. inhale, body up. Exhale, you're gonna take your hands to the floor, so bend your knees however much you need to. We're gonna walk our feet back. Some of you might do a fancy hop. So now we're in a plank, holding onto that block. Inhale is gonna be here. Exhale, back into your down dog. And one of our goals, besides breathing all the time and not hurting, is to hang on to that block. Inhale forward, exhale back. So we did this already without the block, right? So how does it feel holding on to the block? And if you want to come into up dog instead of plank, or do both, or alternate, do that. Now next time we're in our down dog, we're gonna walk those feet forward. It's always so fun trying to walk with the block between your legs. Walk your hands in. Now here, we're gonna bend the knees, come into kind of like a little squat. Bring up those hands to the heart center and come into our chair. Connect with your breath. And then when and if you're ready, we're gonna lift those heels up off the ground. Keep breathing. And then carefully bring those heels down, hands onto your thighs. Exhale into your forward bend. And then inhale, slide all the way up. You get to take the block out. It feels like so spacious. All right. So now what I want you to do is to feel those feet on the ground. And you could grab onto the wall or you can stay in the center of the room. We're gonna again bring those hands to the heart center. And you're gonna take your weight into your left foot and lift the right foot off the ground. We're gonna try to keep this leg straight as we're moving. So inhale is gonna be here standing. Exhale. You're gonna lift the leg, keep the foot flexed, keep your hips as even as possible as you come towards warrior three. And then whenever you're ready, stand on up. Make sure you're still breathing. Weight moves to the right foot. Lift the left foot up. Inhale. And as you exhale, the leg guides your body. So the leg and the body move as one. And when you're ready, come on up. We're going to do each side one more time. Breathe and connect. Inhale up. Exhale as you come forward. And it's okay if your standing leg wants to bend. Whenever you're ready, do that second side. And then when both feet land on the ground, we're going to release those arms and find your strap. And some of you, so at home, you can use a belt or a long sleeve shirt or a sock or anything like that, something that gives you more length. And some of you might like to even just, hold on to your toe. So we're going to take the strap on the padded part of the right foot and your weight's in your left foot. And we're going to walk that leg up and walk your hand down the strap. Breathe and find your focus. The left arm is wherever it supports you. And then we're going to open that leg slightly out to the side, back to the center, and then one more time out to the side. This pose can also be done with a bent knee, right? If you don't want to use the strap, if that doesn't work for you. When you come back to the center, we're going to place the foot on the ground. Take a nice deep breath, roll through your shoulders. So we haven't done that yet today. And then we're going to take the strap around the padded part of the left foot. And again, you bent knee or holding onto your big toe, whatever works. Walking that leg up, sliding your left arm down the strap so your elbow's straight, you have more control. And then in your time, opening the leg out to the side, always safety first. One more time. Beautiful. We're going to take that foot down to the ground. Now this next one, you can use your hand or your strap. And again, you can come to the wall or be in the center of the room. We're going to reach for your right ankle. You're keeping that bent knee towards your standing leg. Your other, so if your hand doesn't come to your foot or your ankle, you can put a strap around there. And then we're gonna stretch out the left arm. You're gonna move that leg, your bent knee, front to back, trying not to bring it off to the side. Now, if you can, you're gonna make space between the heel and the buttock. And some of you might start to bring your heart towards the ground, but you're still pressing the ankle into the hand, making space between that heel and buttock. And then in your own time, come on up, relax your arm, release the foot, take your hands onto your thighs. Here, I want you to have soft knees, right? We're gonna inhale up, exhale down. So again, coming back to our center, and you can inhale all the way up or halfway, whatever feels better. We'll do this 3 times. And the next time that you come up, find your place. And again, this can be one of those times that it's different on each side. So again, we're gonna reach for your left ankle. The heel comes towards the buttock, so you're stretching, the front of your quad, the front of your thigh. We're moving that knee front to back, maybe extending the right arm. And then we're going to take the knee behind the leg, press the ankle into your hand, making space. This is where we make space between the heel and the buttock, and then possibly bringing your heart towards the ground. Keep breathing. And then on an inhale, whenever you're ready, come on up, relax your arm, relax that foot. Take those hands onto your thigh. Inhale, body up. Exhale, slide down. Now, next time you're in your forward bend, we're going to take the hands onto the ground or onto the blocks. And now we're going to inhale with straight legs, exhale, bend those knees. And we want the knees to bend right over the feet. Your elbows stay straight. And I like to have my feet about hip width apart. It feels more spacious as I'm bending my knees for my pelvis and everything. And then next time that your knees are bending, we're going to come all the way down to the ground and stretch out your legs. And again, if you find that you're kind of rounded in your back here, just place a blanket under your sit bones. So here we have our feet about hip width apart, and we're going to slide in your left foot so that the knee is pointing up towards the sky. And I want you to notice your weight, like put your weight into that bent knee foot. Kind of like you're going to try to stand up here, though for many of us it would be impossible. Then we're going to take that left hand behind us. Inhale up with that right arm, and then as you exhale, belly towards the inner thigh. Some of you might even take your elbow to the outside of the knee. But you're doing what feels good in your body, keeping your spine nice and long, so you're just pivoting around your spine. Long, smooth breaths. Some of you might start to take your head over that back shoulder. Remember, we only add on if it feels really good.
Sorry, are we,
Your belly is towards your,
we should be doing the
yes,
direction, so left.
yes. I think you have the opposite knee. But that's okay, stay there, and then when we do the other side, you just do the other leg. Now we're gonna take a nice big inhale, lift through the body, exhale back to the center. I want you to be careful with this one, okay? You're gonna flex that foot and reach towards your ankle and just gently rock. So the knee doesn't have to bend, right? I mean, it bends, but it's not twisting. We're wanting to move through the hip here. like this one. Now we're gonna place this leg down on the ground. And again, start off with our feet about hip width apart, slide in your right foot and engage that foot like you're gonna stand up on it, right? And why do you do this? So if I just let it go, like it all just hangs there. But as soon as I press the foot into the ground, all of a sudden my muscles are like, then we're gonna take the right hand behind us, inhale up with the left arm, body stays nice and long, and as you exhale, belly towards the inner thigh. Again, some of you will take the elbow, some of you will use your hand, and keep breathing. Now, again, you might want to start to bring your head and your vision over the back shoulder. And then on an inhale, we're going to lengthen the spine. Exhale, come forward, and then carefully lift up that flexed foot and hold on to it with our left arm and gently move your legs side to side. How are those hips feeling? Did we do enough on them? Maybe. All right. So from here, we're going to place that bent knee on the floor and bring the other one in. And I want you to have some space here, so we're not trying to get the heels right up to the groin. And then I want you to hold on to your feet or your ankles and bring those shoulders up over your hips. Right? So you're lengthening your spine, feel your sit bones, the bottom of the pelvis on the ground, and then holding on to your legs wherever your hands come to. We're gonna inhale, body upright like we are. Exhale, bend the knees and reach your body forward. So it's not trying to get your head, right? So difference, I'll turn to the side. Difference would be like me trying to reach my head and me trying to reach my heart, right? So I want you to think, inhale, body up, exhale, heart forward, and of course the head follows along with the body. Make sense? And so you're paying attention to what's happening in that low back as you're moving forward. And then next time you come up, we're gonna release the hands. And the inhale, so we started off like this, right? Inhale, knees out, arms up. Exhale, knees together, arms down. And we do this pose in lots of ways, right? Laying down, sitting up. But you're noticing, how does it feel in that back body as you're making these movements? And then next time your hands come down and your knees are bent. So always lots of ways to do a pose. So you can have your hands on the ground and lift your feet up, or you can have your hands in front and lift your feet up. So you're finding, and if that doesn't work, your feet stay on the ground and you just bring your body back, right? So you're finding that place, and wherever you want your eyes in line with your toes and your breathing. Now on an inhale, we're going to bring those legs down, arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, come back into our balanced boat pose, working at your pace. So you might stay in the balance for a breath or two, or you might do a half breath per position. That was like a tongue twister for me. Okay. One more time. I think that's enough. And then after the inhale, we're going to exhale into our forward bend. And just like we did standing, inhale halfway up and exhale in towards your legs. Nice. Now from here, we are going to eventually make our way onto our back, but before we do that, I want you you to take your blanket and you're gonna start off with it in this position. We're just preparing so we don't have to get back up again. We're gonna make a roll. So you're just gonna roll it up like that. We're gonna leave it off to the side so that we can access it. And then carefully, we're gonna get ourselves onto the back body, right? So you can roll down, you can come to your side and make your way safely onto your back body. And so here we are, feet are about hip width apart, and knees are bent. And let's find our strap, so hopefully that's close by. We're gonna keep the right knee bent with the foot on the floor, and we're gonna take the strap on the padded part of the left foot, and we're gonna start with it maybe perpendicular to the ground. And then your body is gonna stay relaxed on the floor. The inhale is the leg in this perpendicular position. The exhale, you're gonna pull that leg towards your body. And for some of us, this is gonna be a small movement. For some of us, it'll be a little bit bigger, right? So you're just moving with your breath. Inhale, leg to perpendicular position. Exhale, leg towards your body. Now, next time your leg is in that perpendicular position, we're gonna walk your same side hand up the strap so that your elbow's straight, and you're gonna take the opposite arm and reach it out on the ground for support, and you're gonna press, let's see, for all of you, it's your right foot. You're gonna press that right foot into the ground. We're gonna slowly open that leg out to the side. Don't just let it drop. You're in control, and bring it back up. And notice what happens in the lower back body. Feel your pelvis on the floor, because what happens for a lot of us is that right side of the pelvis wants to come off the ground, but you're gonna try to keep your pelvis on the ground as you move that leg. All right, one more time. Now the last thing we're gonna do on this side is you're gonna straighten out that right leg. I move away from the wall. And you're gonna take the strap into the right hand, stretch your left arm out on the side, and then you're slowly going to bring your left leg across the body. So you're going over the body now, just coming up to look. And then as you're there, if it's comfortable, you might start to turn your head to the left, if it works for your neck. You're breathing. Now I want you to see if you can make space in your torso. So you're going to take that left buttock and think like it's pushing away from your body, making space in the front of that hip flexor. And then whenever you feel complete, we're going to walk that leg up, take the strap off, and then bend both the knees again. Before we move to the second side, carefully let's bring one knee at a time towards your chest, holding on to those knees. We're gonna make little circles. So relaxing the back of the pelvis on the ground. And then a couple times in the other direction. And then one at a time, we're gonna place the feet on the ground. Knees are bent. And using our strap, we're gonna place the strap on the padded part of the right leg. And again, starting with the leg perpendicular to the ground, and we're using that left foot pressing into the ground for support. Inhale, leg away from the body. Exhale, bend those elbows and take your leg towards your body. Inhale away. Exhale, leg. One more time. Now we're going to take the strap into the right hand, stretch your left arm out, and now the movement, trying to keep that pelvis on the ground as you take your leg out to the side and bring it back to the center. Use your left foot in the ground and your pelvis as your anchor as you move that leg out to the side. Moving with your breath, moving in a way that feels comfortable. Now, next time that leg comes back to the center, you're going to straighten out the left leg, take the straps into the left hand, stretch your right arm out to the side, and slowly bring that leg across the body. And again, as you're here, some of you might take your head towards the right side, only if it feels good. And then we're going to think space in the front of that hip flexor, so pressing away with your buttock. And I know sometimes these cues are like, what's she talking about? And whenever you feel complete, leg and head come back to the center. Bend your left knee, take that foot to the floor, and then we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest, little circles again. A couple of times in each direction. All right, and then carefully rolling over to our sides, we're going to find that roll that we made. And our bodies are all different, so for some of you, this roll might be too big, and some of you might not like a roll at all. We're going to take that roll, put it vertically in the center of our mat, and some of you actually could use a bolster if you want one and have one. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring that roll right to the lower back, and then place your head and your torso on the blanket. So your butt's on the floor, and the roll is going along your whole spine and with your head. And then we're going to have the knees bent, arms at the sides. And then we're going to open the knees out, and some of you might like to have your arms overhead. So see what feels, if it doesn't feel good through your shoulders, it's absolutely okay to have your arms at your sides. And see if you can just soften with your breath. Soften your mind, soften your body. And if the knees don't feel good, straighten out your legs. You're doing what feels good in your body. Now, from here, in your own time, you're going to check in. You're going to ask your body if it wants anything else, right? And you might stay like in this position for a little bit longer. Your body might want to do something else. And then we're going to make our way into Shavasana, right? So, and in Shavasana, you lay in a comfortable, supported position, and you relax. So you're going to decide when you want to make any other movements for your body, and then when you are going to bring yourself into Shavasana. And in Shavasana, it's important that we find a position that we're completely comfortable, that we're warm, that you feel totally supported by what's underneath you. And I invite you to close your eyes. As you exhale, allowing muscles to soften and your body to become heavy. Sweet. In your own time, as you're ready, starting to bring your awareness to your breath, to your body, noticing how you're feeling now, the physical part of our practices. And then in your own time, coming up to a comfortable seated position, making any movements that your body needs. And then again, in your own time, we're going to place one hand so that your fingertips actually like connect with your collarbone. And then the other hand is going to go below your navel. And then breathing in, seeing if you can, without effort, as you're breathing in, use your entire body. So breathing in, nose, chest, belly, maybe out, belly, chest, nose. You might just observe for the first couple of breaths. You might think of an animal or a baby breathing. They just kind of breathe with the whole body. So imagining that as you're taking these conscious breaths, that you're breathing with your whole body. When you feel that connection through your whole body, you can keep your hands there or you can release them. Noticing how you feel and thinking about the rest of your day and how you want to be in the rest of your day. And then let's close with a few sounds. So inhaling those arms up towards the sky, exhaling the sound HU to the heart. HU.